put the car to the test. Faster, faster, no time to waste. Grip the wheel, can't lose the race. In the rear view, I see the pack, but I'm ahead, and there's no looking back. Turn the wheel, feel the G-force snap. In the zone, no time for a nap. Racing hard, we never slow down. GT3s win the showdown. Core, baby, hear the tires scream. We're racing for glory, chasing that dream. In GT3, we're burning up the track. No looking back, we're never turning back. Le Mans breakdown, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Le Mans, baby, we own the night. Oh yeah. The roar of the engine, the burn of the rubber. Chasing the glory, we ain't no lover. Pushing the limits, we're breaking the chains. In the heat of the moment, we run through the flames. Yeah, we're rolling through the night. Every corner, every fight. Speed's our religion, Le Mans our shrine. GT3s, it's our time to shine. We're crushing the game, Le Mans in our sights. Remember our name, GT3s. We rise from the start, we're taking the win. We're making our mark. Le Mans breakdown, hear the tires scream. We're racing for glory, chasing that dream. In GT3, we're burning up the track. No looking back, we're never turning back. Le Mans breakdown, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Le Mans, baby, we own the night. Yo, GT3, we own that track. Le Mans, baby, there's no looking back. Le Mans, big to know we rise to the top. In GT3, we can't be stopped. Yeah, we can't be stopped. Yo, it's race day, get ready to go. GT3's on the track, let's put on a show. Core, baby, we're hitting the gas. Pedal to the floor, don't look back, don't crash. Lights out, engine scream, we're rolling. GT3's got the power, we're holding. Lap after lap, feeling the heat. Hold tight, no time for defeat. On the straights, the speed is insane. Chasing down the rivals, we own this game. Through the chicanes, we're taking those turns. One slip, one crash, and you crash and burn. Turn the wheel, feel the G-force snap. In the zone, no time for a nap. Racing hard, we never slow down. GT3s win the showdown. Core, baby, hear the tires scream. We're racing for glory, chasing that dream. In GT3, we're burning up the track. No looking back, we're never turning back. Core, baby, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Core, baby, we own the night. Midnight headlights pierce the dark. We're locked in the fight, ready to spark. A lap of legends, every second's a test. Pushing hard to put the car to the test. Faster, faster, no time to waste.
Good evening and welcome tonight, everyone, to the Core GT season number 10. This is round 7 coming at you from Autodromo Internacional do Algarve. Yeah, David, my Portuguese is not so good, but track's also known as Portimao. So, yeah, we've got David here in the booth tonight. Tyler and Dom were not able to make it. So, I'm guessing there's something going on here tonight. As we're down to a few drivers, looks like we have 11 drivers qualified now. John Crane and Derek Booker not setting a time yet.
Yeah, John, it looks like all of our contingency from UNOH college that are studying motorsports in some form couldn't make it tonight, so I'm guessing that there's some kind of real-life event happening that precludes them from participating, but looking forward to seeing this race with those that we do have here.
Yeah, looking through the field, it's a little bit of a Porsche Cup fest here tonight. You know, the top 4 all in Porsches. See Ricky Renner, not in a Porsche for once, and the McLaren down in 5th. Alan Golson also in the McLaren. Molyneux, the sole Acura, and John Crane, yet another McLaren. So, little skewed for the manufacturers here. I mean, I know the rotation of the Porsche comes in handy here, but
yeah, it does. I think the Porsche is the car here typically. The last time that we came to this track, It was the car for me until about 2 laps to go when I put it in the wall in the last corner. So you do have to you do have to watch out for the tires getting a little bit angry at you toward the end of a stint here with the Porsche. But I think it does have the capability to be quick around this track, and I think that's why you're seeing people pick it tonight.
Yeah, definitely. The Porsche likes to bite back from time to time. Looks like we have qualifying finished here. Mason Smith taking home pole yet again with a 142.763. Jonathan Schwartz will be starting second. Nick Terrell in third. Nathan Sides, our top gold driver there, in fourth. Ricky Renner in fifth. Nathan Nickerson in sixth. Alan Gellison in seventh. Eric Martin in eighth. And I don't have to scroll a bunch this time. We can do this here. Ninth will be James Molyneux. 10th, Josh Betts. 11th, Alex Jaspers. 12th will be John Crane and Derek Booker using his freebie race for this GT series here. So it'd be interesting to see how Booker fares, taking a little break from the GT side of things. This one they start on the grid apparently. I guess there's no short pace lap for Portimao. But
Nope, they'll be taking a full pace lap here, so we get a little bit of a parade and a view at the guys who did show up and some of their liveries tonight.
Yeah, pull up real quick, get our points here where you can see them. Mason Smith leading the Platinum Division. John Schwartz 1 point behind. Nick Terrell about 28 back there in third. Over in the gold side, Nathan Sides with a 5-point lead over Braden Carlson. So that's still a Braden. I know he said he was missing using his last drop race here tonight. Kelly Pointer also not here, 26 back. So Nathan going to be able to make a little bit of space there. Alan Gullison leading silver. He is here tonight. Shane Theron is not here tonight, nor is Mark Gonzalez. So looks like Alan will be able to stretch that lead out. Alex Jasper's here tonight. Not seeing Robert Kinney. But Joshua Betts did make it, so maybe Alex can open up a little bit of a gap there as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a newer track, and maybe not one that everyone owns either, so that could explain some of the attendance as well. Also not one that's easy to learn. There's just a lot of undulating and blind corners here. A lot of kind of off camber, I guess you could say, in the acceleration zones out of the corners. You'll see one of those corners up here shortly as they make their way to what would be turn 3, I believe. Well, 3 and 4. This 3-4 complex. The right-hander of turn 3, and then you go up the hill and get on the gas, and it just does not want to stick when you're getting on the gas on that left-hander up the hill. So something to look out for on lap 1 especially will be guys losing the rear end and going around right there.
Yeah, it is definitely a track with some ups and downs that can be quite unpredictable. I made the mistake of trying to do about 7 or 8 laps here, and I was like, during the daytime, I was like, oh, okay, this won't be that bad. Got thrown into the top split with Dom and a few other guys. Maybe not quite the top split, but it was up there. I think the average we were seeing was 4 and 5K. And at night, multi-class here, not fun for the GT3s. Too many blind hills in the dark.
Yeah, no thanks. That would be rough. I've not run this at night, so I don't know what that would be like in terms of lighting. Lighting's not always the best in iRacing, certainly at night, and so
there's none here.
Yeah, can be a challenge for sure.
I mean, my big wish is you can see, if you look at the spotters towers, there are some lights on the spotters towers. Like, there's lights there, just give them to us. And I think you can see a light pole back there in the background. It's like, I don't need a ton, just a few. Like, even if it's just the off-track areas that are lit a little bit.
Right, exactly. And I think the sim developers know this, and they are working on some more better lighting with the new graphics update that should be coming here this year. So it will be interesting to see if that illuminates some of the areas on the track that are tough to see at night currently.
So Nick Terrell is not in the mystery machine tonight. Dun dun dun! No, I guess he's not being in his normal car. He is normally a McLaren driver. So.
No mystery machine available in the Porsche, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if he's making those himself or if it's just something he finds on Trading Paints, but it's generally always been the good old blue mystery machine.
Here they come around the last corner. Gonna get things kicked off here.
Jonathan Schwartz running that Rexy paint job with the gold teeth. So I heard that that front bumper went missing at Daytona. And they're about to go green here.
Yeah,
Let's
Jonathan and Mason at the head of the pack, just like last night in the LMP2. I expect them to be battling nose to tail.
Green, green, green.
There we go. Yep, there's Barney. He's on the other side.
Nick Terrell making a move already inside 3 wide.
Yep. We've seen that move before out of, I believe it was Tyler Kikeko, that did not go quite that smoothly. So, good job for Nick to make that move work.
Makes it work. Slots in between these two. And it looks like Mason behind him gets a good run out of turn 4. Let's see if he makes a dive here at the hairpin. He will not. He'll stay behind and look to get a better run. It takes a little bit wider exit.
Yeah, that's getting close to an... I know you can go a little wider there. The off-tracks... it's one of those where the off-track line is not exactly evident. It's like
Oh, a little bit loose out of the corner for Terrell, and that gives Mason a look.
Yeah, that is the one thing that always surprises me, David, is how close these guys up front can run to each other without hitting each other.
Yeah,
It's a
even
lot of
stuff
trust
like
that has
that
to be
where
given.
where someone has just a little bobble, a little bit of a oversteer, and just the awareness
Mason
to
to
be
the
able to
inside.
react to that. Mason's going to take a dive to the inside, and he makes the pass.
So here's an interesting thing I just noticed. Mason's tires are white on the sidewalls, and Nick's are yellow.
I think that is actually something you can pick.
Okay, is that something you can pick? Or
I've
is
heard
that...
something about it. I don't do a lot of paying attention to the aesthetics of my car, to be honest. So I'm not sure, but I think I have heard you can pick between maybe Pirellis and Michelin's or something like that.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I remember that conversation with Parks. It depends on whether you're running the IMSA decal set or the... there's another one you can use.
Right, okay,
So-
that's right.
Mason getting a little loose getting that curb there. But Schwartz out to a 1.3 second gap, so we'll have to see if Mason can close that down or if he's going to just kind of keep it there. Gonna see if SDK will play nice with the track map. I want to leave it up that little big circle there running for a bit and seeing if it does anything. Showing James Molyneux having a accident back here. What happened to James? Oh, little pile up there, just a little touch, and
It's into the monster car, the 194. Is that Gullison? I believe so.
I'm not showing a 194. Yep, that is Gullison, and ooh,
694.
Gullison getting, yeah, 694.
Wonder if he has some damage there. He's trying to recover from.
Yeah, it looks like that right rear maybe. A little blinking possibly. Let's go back live here. So, Alan coming up to the back of Derek Booker here. Let's see. Is he still having some ongoing issues maybe? Let's hop into the cockpit. Well, I'll need to do the roll bar cam. Steering wheel looks pretty straight, so Shouldn't be any suspension damage in there. Ooh. And going out way, yep. Shows you the difference. The line can make a difference there. Let's see, who else do we have here doing the nice battle on track? Looks like Ricky Renner and Nathan Sides here. Checking back up here. Mason slowly closing that gap down. About a 10th last lap. And then we also have Nathan Nickerson back here. I'm gonna keep the camera on sides here and see how these three are gonna do for a bit. As, ooh, wow, sides really sucking up in the braking zone there to Ricky.
Wow, the Porsche very strong in the braking.
Yeah, with that engine back there over the rear end, it gets such good traction out of the slow corners. Yeah. Ooh. That's an interesting camera shot right there. Looking back through here, let's see. Another little battle we have here between Josh Betts and Alex Jaspers. That was a half a second. Looks like maybe that is Jasper's getting past Betts. That gap is opening.
It looks like the closest battle on the track right now is going to be your Nickerson Sides Renner grouping. Nathan Nickerson, one of those that last season was kind of a coming out party for him in core. Really performed well, and looking to continue that this season. Hasn't quite gone his way thus far.
Making the move down there on the inside, not quite making it stick though. Ricky letting it hang around the outside. As they are.
Yeah, this is a good
this
battle.
This is a quote-unquote, I guess, back straight if there was one coming up.
Straight roller coaster, maybe. You're full throttle through that downhill. Late braking into this double right-hander.
Yeah.
That braking point is very tough to get right.
That was the one in the dark that I would just be like, where did it go? I could hear Dom being like, I think I wound up with like 60 or 70 X's that race. It was atrocious. It was one of my worst performances here. Yeah. Now, do you kind of notice it looks like Ricky's car is sliding out a little bit as he's going over the top of that hill?
That might just be McLaren things under acceleration. It just it kind of kicks out a little bit, but it's almost a controlled oversteer. But the Porsche does want to oversteer on that hill as well. As you hit the crest and accelerate down towards the start-finish line. Like I said in the intro here, that is a place where you can lose it, especially when the tires are getting a little worn.
Yep, and if you have to lift because you've come in just a little hot, it can be an interesting ride. It's savable, but you're going to regret it when you get into turn one with those rears at that hot.
Mason is under a second to Schwartz here at the front. Maybe content for now to hang out and not overdo it on this first set of tires.
Yeah.
Not sure what fuel strategy looks like tonight. Schwartz is typically one that will like to split the race equally into 3 parts, I think, for these. Just to maximize, I believe, the grip that he's going to get out of whatever new tires he's able to put on with the amount of fuel that is needed for the race. So that's something I look out for. Mason, on the other hand, kind of more in the school of, save fuel a little bit, go as long as you can. So we may see Mason take an extra lap into this first round of pit stops.
And we've seen Schwartz also short pit on some of these more drafty tracks to try to break that and try to get a little bit of time. So, I mean, not a track where the draft is really a huge deal, but I mean, that front straight is a little on the long side. You can definitely pull a couple tenths back.
And maybe in the draft it's more about that saving fuel and pitting one lap later for the first stint, maybe another lap later in the second stint, and then your advantage comes where your second stint pit stop is much shorter because you have less fuel to put in the car, and so you're able to jump out of the pits much quicker on that last pit stop. And so you can see maybe some of these guys like Mason, you know, going 40 minutes in second place, content to hang out there, but then jumping to the lead in that last pit stop. So that'll be something also to look out for.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and also kind of keeping an eye on Nick Terrell back here, as we have seen him do some fuel mileage things before and get an extra lap or two. And
Yeah,
maybe not be able to jump any pace difference back ahead of Mason and John, but definitely come very close.
yeah, Nick is no slouch when it comes to conserving fuel as well. With all the undulations on this track, a lot of downhill braking zones, you have opportunities to lift and coast as well, even if you're not in the draft. So that could come into play. Might be interesting to hop on board with some of these guys later on in the stint just to see what their strategy looks like in terms of lift and coast. For now,
Well, now that you
Terrell
mentioned that, we
is...
can hop in with Mason here and see.
Yep.
That's a little
His
lifting
first-
just a little early. Too
That
crazy.
first corner you might want to lift early just to get the car under you. That is a fast complex here, that first two corners into this slower hairpin, and then trying not to put too much throttle into it over this hill. And maybe at this point in the stint they're able to go full throttle into this downhill hairpin.
Looking like riding along, you know, on board here with Mason. Is it just me, or does it look like he's hitting the marks just a little better than John at the moment? And clipping the apex exactly where John might be missing it by, you know, a foot.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's being a little more conservative on entry. I think he is lifting a little bit, not to the point where it's enough to save a significant amount of fuel, but just a different approach to the entry phase, where he's getting the car underneath him maybe a little bit better so that he can be more precise on the apexes.
Let's hop in with him here and see. Yeah, whereas Mason is getting on those rumble strips every time on the inside, it seems like John is staying just off of them. But yeah, what you're talking about right there, you hear that little lift, trying to keep the back end of the car under him.
Yeah, you almost, in the Porsche especially, you do, on most laps, there is a line and a phase of the tires where you might be able to keep it full throttle. From my memory, it might also depend on track temperature, etc. But I expect to see just a little bit of a lift to keep the car from oversteering over that last corner. And all pretty much under control here for Mason as he's following John around. He was taking a little bit more track on entry on a couple of these corners as well. So seems to have a good idea of the car underneath him here.
Between Ricky Renner, Nathan Sides, and Nathan Nickerson possibly.
See what happens.
Ooh.
Sides goes for the move. Oh,
that's gonna hurt. He's gonna want that front end downforce right there. You see, it looks like Nathan slowing down to make sure Ricky gets back out after tapping in there. Nice sportsmanship.
yeah, that was maybe an over-optimistic move. Kind of a tough corner to make a move in. Saw some incidents like that, similar to that last year, where guys looked like there's an opening, but it's mainly because you're taking such a wide entry and a late entry into that corner.
It's going to be interesting here in a second to watch Nathan Nickerson with that. You can see the driver's side front there kind of caved in a little bit. When he gets to that last, I guess for him, it's right-hander. See if he's lost any air on that front.
Yeah, that's mixed up the order. It's mixed up the order a little bit with Renner dropping behind and sides, so we'll see if Renner's going to have a chance. I don't think he has any damage on that car.
Track temp today is only 76, so not too bad.
Even if these guys do have a little bit of damage, they will be able to get some repairs at the first pit phase, which these in the GT series this season we have 40% fuel limits, so that's going to come around 25 minutes into the race here.
Let's see. Yeah. So Nick Terrell, 7 seconds ahead of him is the gap to Mason, and 4.5 seconds behind him to Nathan. So, sure, Nick enjoying that little bit of breathing room. But, you know, I don't see Mr. Anderson here tonight, our sponsor for the GT series. So, just in case, let everybody know, since Chase Decals is sponsoring our series here and paying for the broadcast. You know, they do specialize in wraps and graphics for business and commercial purposes, like vehicle fleets, emergency vehicles, and interiors. A little different from other graphic shops. I don't really get into personal jobs, racing, or motorsports, but if you find yourself in the need, feel free to contact Chase Decals for that, and we appreciate their support. But looking back here, Mason is slowly getting that gap closer. But you can see how much wider he's going on entry here. And on exit. Not showing any off tracks for Mason or Schwartz, but then again, if the track map's not working, I don't trust SDK's off the tracks anyway.
No, I think I did see one off track, I believe, out of turn 4 from one of these two earlier. But that entry into turn 1 should be okay, where Mason took it.
Yeah, you can definitely take a lot of it. Looking back through here, Nathan Sides has closed back up to the back of Ricky Renner. Let's see if he's got a... Looks like Ricky spun the tires up a little bit, allowing Sides to get a better exit there. He's going to be able to capitalize on it. It looks a little odd. Whoa! That, you know, I know I asked him to make it a little interesting for us here on the broadcast, maybe a little Porsche drift, but got a feeling that's not what Nathan wanted to do there.
Yep, just a little dirty outside of that curb right there. Almost bit him.
Looking back through. Did that, and then looks like it's going to be Eric Martin and Alex Jaspers here. So Eric are... Oh, you know what? Let me take the driver standing. Let's put it into the class. Do them grouped now that we're a little into this race. Yeah, that's so yeah, Jaspers and Joshua Betts ahead of Eric Martin, the top silver driver currently. So good showing for these two. You can kind of see there's your bronze leader, Josh Betts. And his lead over the Canadian Alex Jaspers.
This is a big race for these bronze drivers because with the smaller field, they're going to be able to gain a lot of points. They have fewer guys to get ahead of in the upper divisions, and the way the point structure works, that's going to allow them to accumulate quite a few more points tonight. And so it's a big deal for them to be finishing well here. And you know, Josh Betts.
Eric trying to make a little bit of a move there.
Betts in the lead of the division. I forget what the standings look like.
Yeah, we can pull that back up. It is, yeah. No, Jaspers is leading the division in bronze currently.
That's right.
Betts is currently in third, although with Robert Kinney not attending tonight, that will certainly change.
Yeah, Betts 12 points behind Jaspers right now, but that gap can close a little bit with the current order.
Yeah, just looking down here through the division, so you have Nathan Nickerson, your top gold driver here, 4.5 seconds behind platinum driver Hank Terrell, and 2 seconds ahead of the other the last platinum Ricky. Yeah, it's a good showing out of Nathan there. As we have our first car in the pits, it is Nathan Sides. As we are, so we're 19 minutes in. That damage early from that accident may have cost him a little bit of fuel mileage.
Yeah, I think he waited for the earliest opportunity where he felt like he could still make this a two-stopper.
Yeah,
to get that damage fixed.
Yeah, if you're stopping every 20 minutes, you'll make it to the end on 2 stops, or close. One of those. Hope it's not that +1 extra lap, according to your calculator.
That is the risk you're taking. But we'll see when the rest of these guys start coming in.
Now this gap has gotten tiny. Mason taking a little look there. Yeah, I look up and I see 0.18. Like, uh-oh. I thought the move may have been on and we were too late. Mason's just staying there, and that, you know, I believe they had the same battle last night in LMP2.
Oh, they did. Yep, nose to tail whole race.
So these two definitely familiar with this. So, you know, in case
Here
anyone's
comes Mason. Yeah, he's gonna pull out of it. This is not a great turn to make a passing move. Maybe on this turn 3 entry, if he can get it early. Nope, he's gonna wait.
It's one of those things. Even if you get alongside, going into one, 2 cars will fit. There's plenty of track room. However, there is not a good racing line for 2 wide through there. It takes some cooperation. 2 cars cannot send it in full speed.
I can tell Mason's getting a little bit, maybe a better grip on exit.
Yeah, that's one of the things Mason was talking about. I saw in our LMP chat last night that he's trying to be a little more aggressive and not just putting constant pressure, trying to make some moves here and there.
He's certainly taken wider entries. He's taking advantage of all of the track space available to him. Schwartz is staying on the asphalt surface as opposed to running those curbs, and that could just be to make sure he doesn't upset the car.
Could be, but also at the same time, if you're taking a wider entry and you're covering more distance, that's also going to ease the load on the tires just a wee little bit.
Yeah, you're certainly asking more of the tires taking a shallower entry.
So, but you know, with this being 20 minutes, you know, you can, if you want to in a lot of these races, you can double stint on these GT3 tires if you need to. But also when you've got these guys, you know, their last lap 0.02 of a second apart, you know, a 5% difference in tire is enough to. Ooh, Mason,
here we go. Might be on. Nope, not quite there.
Maybe just
Get
trying
the better
to
exit though.
Yeah.
He's alongside.
Could be just trying to force a mistake out of Schwartz there.
They're side by side into this hairpin. Yeah, I can't quite get the crossover move done there.
Yeah, I think the radius is a little too tight to really, you know. Now, and if we're talking
definitely.
Pro 2 trucks, oh yeah, that's a perfect corner for the crossover in dirt, but not so in GT3 and asphalt.
Yeah, I think part of what Schwartz is doing by not taking those wide entries is just defending that inside line just a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Certainly not an aggressive defense, but and not compromising his own corner that much. But I think it makes Mason think just a little bit harder about diving the car in.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Let's see, checking in with chat here. Got Mason pulling for Molyneux, which James currently in 7th, but we've got some guys in the pits currently, so see how that shakes out. That has put James Molyneux to the top of bronze.
Yeah, Barry, we see you out there in Mason's corner, and Kelly Pointer not able to make it tonight, but in James Molyneux's corner. So he'll be a little disappointed to see where James has ended up so far with that early incident.
Let's see, watch these two come into pits. All right, David, so time for the head games. Who's going to come out first?
Oh, I think it's going to be extremely close. I mean, I don't think Mason would have burnt quite as much fuel here.
The thing is,
They're
Mason's
both-
pit stop is ahead.
They're both taking tires.
Yep.
Oh, Mason's taking a longer stop actually. So he lost some time in the pits there. I don't know if he took more tires or more fuel.
Or did,
Maybe Jonathan
Schwartz-
underfueled the car a little
Yeah.
bit here for this second stint.
You know, but that's a 6-second gap coming out of pits between these two now.
Yeah, he certainly made some different choices here to maybe create a gap. He doesn't want to see Mason be able to save fuel or to kind of cruise behind him and save tires, etc. So Schwartz made some decisions here, and we'll see how it affects his final stop, as he's going to want to probably, if he took less fuel, he's going to want to make as much gap as possible going into this last pit stop.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Let's see. Check back in. Hey, what do you know? We got these three back together again. Actually, they're onto the back of Nick Terrell there. So Nick taking 19 seconds in pit lane. Schwartz only taking 13.2 in his pit.
13,
box.
yeah, that is a very short stop.
He short fueled that.
Yes, he did.
So it will be interesting to see, can Mason still save a little fuel while not being behind Schwartz, because Mason didn't manage to get an extra lap on him there.
Schwartz would have also only been able to take maybe less sides. Certainly not 4 tires, not 3 tires with that amount of time in the air. So potentially a tire advantage as well.
Yeah, definitely one of those things. Definitely be interesting to ask him after the fact what the plan was, and let's see if that strategy works out for him.
But for now, we have a good race here.
Yeah.
For third place, Nick Terrell, Ricky Renner, and Nathan Sides.
Now see, Nick took 2 more seconds than Mason. Sides took 15 seconds, so that's 4.3 seconds shorter than Nick. So that's what's brought him in.
Oh, hold on a minute. What we're looking at right here is Sides behind Renner. Is that right? I think we still got quite a gap up to Terrell.
No, Terrell's right there. He's in the red
Okay.
Porsche.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, SDK sometimes when you're looking at it is a little wonky. Go back to the overall set here. There we go. It'll take a second. to
Oh,
load that
okay.
back up.
It's because Renner's at the back of this
Yeah,
group.
but
I was confused by the platinum and gold split there. Yep.
but Nickerson taking a little bit of a shorter stop. Ricky Renner taking a little bit of a longer stop. So, wondering if maybe Ricky and Nick forgot to take all the tires off, because 4 tires is about that 19 to 20 second range, I think.
Yeah, I think 4 tires is going to put you plus 20 at least. Yep.
Or it might be 19 without the windshield banner or tear off, and over 20 with. Looking like Alex Jasper's taking 21 seconds in the pits, so very possible that that's that difference. But looks like Nick is opening that gap back up there. Last lap running 3/10 faster than Nathan, and
So really the biggest loser in the pit phase here among the top 5 or top 6 would be Ricky Renner. So how long was his pit stop?
Ricky's was 18.6.
So he had actually lost some of that ground before the pit phase. Interesting.
Pit strategy thing here. Pull that up if it's, or it's broken tonight. Bad SDK, bad SDK. Yep. Well, let's see.
Taking a look around Ricky's car, see if some of that earlier incident caused any damage that wasn't repaired.
Oh, there
looks
we go.
good now.
Fixed. So yeah, you can see sides pitting. Ooh. Who is that? Showing.
That's
Incident
Booker,
here.
yep.
Ooh, yep. As you said, coming over that corner, it's just a little. Oh!
Wow.
Mason, hope you're wearing the brown pants tonight. That not what you want to see when you're running in second.
No, sir. Speaking of running in second, 4 seconds now, the gap. When they came out of the pits, it was 6 seconds.
Took 1 second. Mason took 1 second off Schwartz there. Yeah, wondering if Schwartz may have had to check up a little bit because of Booker in a corner. The previous one, maybe.
Could be traffic coming into play there.
Yeah, or just having to be too wide through one or something like that. But the sides maybe pulling back a little bit on Terrell there. 2/10 quicker that last lap.
Yes, sir. So, as far as what we've seen after this pit phase, kind of subverting some of our expectations of those that would save fuel and those who wouldn't. And that's tightened it up a little bit here.
Yeah, if we look at Mason here, you can see lap 14 losing 6/10 to Schwartz. And then lap 15, the pit phase, lost 5.1. Gained 0.2, 0.9, and we're about to see what he's gained or lost on this one. Another 8/10. So he is chopping time out of Schwartz for sure. You know, and with it being about an 11 or 12 lap pit cycle, is that right? Yeah, 14 laps for them to pit. He will be back onto the back of Schwartz before the end of this pit stop.
Yep.
If he can maintain that kind of closing rate.
Well, John is not one to be afraid of trying different strategies, and so, you know, I mentioned maybe him wanting to create a larger gap in this middle stint. The other end of that coin is he could choose to save more fuel, and by doing so, you know, he doesn't want to give up that much time, but he is going to have to give up a little bit, and so it could be that he's trying to gain back that fuel advantage that he gained in the pit stop, or not gain back, but give up a little bit of time to get back level on fuel for the last pit stop.
Yeah, because Schwartz is running almost exactly a second off his best lap time. 43.96 versus best lap time of a 42.91. So
yeah, so definitely some conservation here.
Yeah, Mason's best lap time being a 42.8, he ran a 43.16. So he's not, you know, pounding in his fastest time every lap, but he's in there cooking.
Yeah, maybe he was a little bit tired of taking that defensive line. I thought he'd try something different, not give Mason the draft. All kinds of things at play here.
Looking at this now, that last lap, Mason only taking a 10th out of John there. So we'll be curious to see what how this, John may have saved fuel for those 3 or 4 laps, and thinks that's enough, and now he can put the hammer back down. Let him get to 4 seconds and then keep him out of the draft. Now that's not a bad strategy right there.
Yeah, I think there's lots of different strategies you could be employing here, and he's thinking about it. Well, John, I think we're a little over halfway through this race. Maybe an opportunity to let the audience hear a little bit. I'd love to hear it.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. Alright, let's do this right here, and this, and we'll see you in a bit. So that was a interesting turn of events there, with Schwartz pitting a little early. So if we pull up the pit strategy thing here, so made it 14 laps last time and only 7 laps this time. It's half.
I'm trying to theorize on what might be going on here, and one of the things that I was just talking to John about before Schwartz pit was that he was coming up on a couple of lap cars, and with as close as the margins are between himself and Mason, he just might not have wanted to give up that, 1 second, 1.5 seconds that it might have taken to get around those cars, even if they're being, courteous to him. That's just something he felt like he couldn't afford. The other possibility is, he put so much less fuel in the car that was just, he didn't really have an option. He might have had to come in at that point.
Because, if he put 7 laps in, we've got 20 minutes to go in this race. All right, lap times are a little under 2 minutes. So that's 10. Still going to have to probably do 12 laps, I would say, at minimum. And they did 14 the first time. I think it might be really close for him to make it. Like, even on if he's got a full tank. Because if he burned half of it, but he didn't have a full tank. I don't know, David.
You don't think too hard, you might break something, but yeah,
well,
I mean,
I feel like
we'll
we
just
need
have
one
to
of your
see how it
G
plays
Sheets
out.
fuel calculators at the moment.
I almost don't want to ruin the suspense, right? I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We can look at what Jonathan is doing inside the car. I'm in his cockpit right now, kind of watching. I don't see anything that indicates to me that he's concerned, but we'll see. I mean, I think he knows the margin of sight, just like I said. So he could just be pushing it to the very limit.
So what gets me here is that so anybody that pits from at least this point on and gets a full tank should be able to make it. Now, Schwartz was in pits for 17.5 seconds. Mason's first pit was 17.9. And Schwartz's first pit was, I think I can actually pull that data up here. We can do pit stop time. No, it only, so 13.2. So if Mason stops for less than 14 seconds, it should put him back out ahead of Schwartz unless he gets caught up by things like
Schwartz
that.
having to go wide there. Yep. With Mono coming out of the pits.
Definitely giving us a little bit of something to watch out for here.
Yeah, other battles on the track. We do have Nathan Sides still on the bumper of Nick Terrell within a second. Further back in the field, less than 2 seconds between Gullison and Betts for 7th. As Betts has about 5 seconds on his next closest bronze challenger.
Alex taking longer in the pits than Betts by about 4 seconds there. 17 to 21. So we might need to tell Alex he may not need to be taking 4 tires every time.
Yeah, and that Porsche on this track, I mean, it's
Nice
maybe less
livery.
risky, right?
True,
Yeah,
true.
you don't want to risk anything. So, and he might be putting in better times too. Then he feels like he can catch up with that tire advantage.
So Nathan Sides in the pits already. Followed by, no, that is, who was behind him. So I'd be curious to see how long Nathan takes in the pit here. He's taking at least some tires. Get an idea of what he might be. See if it drops him at 13. 15 seconds. And Mason had made up about 3 seconds on track before John pitted. Last lap, Mason still a second faster than John. 43.55 versus literally 1 second faster. A 44.55. Schwartz maybe just having a not so hot lap last lap, but Terrell kicking in a 43.97, so he's upped his pace and currently running second.
So Schwartz had to avoid Molyneux on that last lap, so that could have been part of it.
Mm-hmm. Trying to see where everybody is on track.
Gollison is now within a second.
Yep, Nick Terrell coming into the pits. And Nathan Nickerson. Mason staying out there, though.
Thing to watch will be, does Mason come in this time? I think likely yes. See the rear end of that Porsche kind of wanting to step out. Here he comes around the final corner. And he will stay out. Did we miss something here where Renner jumped Nick Terrell? Not hearing you on Discord here, John.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Terrell has not pitted. Or sorry, so Terrell pitted, Renner has not.
Okay.
So I was sitting there looking at that going, wait, no, yeah. So neither Mason and Ricky, the one's still out. Alan Gullison's still out, so that's what's got him up a little bit there. But if I was muted, what I was saying is Nick Terrell only 1277 in the pit box there. So is Ricky missing a hood?
Indeed.
Was he missing that hood earlier?
Negative.
Huh. I don't.
Do we have any incidents that we can recall here?
I'm scrolling through. I've got an off track here for Ricky.
It's that same.
Yep, right there. So
yeah, that's
same
turn
as we
4
saw
over the hill, and the front end just gets loose, and that's too bad.
Interesting. SDK only said that was a off track, not a accident, and that's most definitely what I would consider an accident. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Mason entering pit lane here. Dang it. Go to the correct person. All right. Let's see how long Mason is in the pits.
All right, Jonathan is approaching the final corner.
I'm not seeing Mason's not going up. He's not taking any tires.
No tires, he's out.
10 seconds flat. He should clear Schwartz by a margin.
He does.
Looks like it's going to settle down right around 3.5 seconds, I think.
But without the tire advantage. So we'll see what kind of tire delta Schwartz has. He hasn't been putting in especially fast laps.
Let me know who took tires and which tires.
Right. I say Schwartz hasn't been putting in fast laps. I mean, in comparison to Mason here.
Well, Schwartz last lap of 43.88, so he's still a second off his fastest time. So we'll see how that gap sits. Will the battle box be the right one? That is not the right one. I think the 3-letter names on that are all. But, oh, we can see sector times for these guys. Alright, Sector 1, obviously Mason in the pits pulled in a chunk. Sector 2 took a 10th out of him. So we'll see if Schwartz kicks in a low 43 this time. He will definitely be on the hunt. And Mason pulling out a very small amount in that last sector. 43.7, so Schwartz is definitely trying to up the pace a bit.
Got 10 minutes, probably 6 to 7 laps.
10 minutes should be, yeah, 6, maybe 7. It's going to depend on where they are when that time started. And so 6 laps, he needs 3 seconds. That's half a second a lap is what is going to have to be the closing, right? Is that math?
I try not to test my brain too much live on the air. That's when we get into trouble.
Like, that's what SDK needs. If anyone at SDK happens to randomly be watching our broadcast, give me a like an F1 style time to like arrive, or what do they call it?
The AWS, ETA of the
impending battle
pass or whatever. Yeah, something like that.
Although looking like that gap's a little bigger now. Mason, I guess, getting used to the way the car feels on full fuel again.
So this battle is probably not completely over. It will be interesting to see if it heats up toward the end. We do have one other battle on track within 1 second. That's Josh Betts in 8th, looking to get back ahead of Alan Gullison. Has Gullison made his final pit stop?
Gullison has.
Okay, so Gullison managed to get back out in front of these bronze drivers.
Here's an interesting question. Thinking, Mason there. Wonder if we got Ricky Renner coming in for his pit stop. So that's going to put Nick Terrell back onto his podium for 3rd place. Nathan Sides and Nickerson getting around Ricky there in the pits. Hopefully, Ricky, you got that fast repair. Get that hood back on
May or
there.
may not. We'll see. And he does.
Believe he does. So. He has about a 50-second lead over Alan Gullison, so fairly safe there to come back out. But that puts him probably 8.5 seconds after he gets back on track here.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ricky, not really where he wants to be after the recent promotion to the Platinum Division. Whoa, we got a spin out front. Schwartz.
Oh. Let's pull up the replay here. Did Porsche do Porsche things? A little unsteady in the braking zone. And yep, one of slow, lazy spins. You hate it. Spins the tires up. Those rears are not going to be happy.
I'll tell you who is happy, and that is going to be the 6 of Mason Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a reversal of last night's results. Mason, as long as he can keep it clean here, is going to take the victory. Jonathan Schwartz manages to stay in 2nd.
Yeah, That's a 10-second gap that Schwartz would have to close now. That's not saying that Schwartz isn't good, but anybody who can close 10 seconds on Mason within 6 minutes is, I think, qualifies for the term alien and non-human.
Yeah, alien and a half for sure if you can close that gap.
But you know, they're both in Porsches. You know, Mason didn't take tires.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that Porsche pendulum effect could bite, and we'll have to wait until the end of this to see who crosses the line first.
Or is this F1 and what no one knows is one brand of tire versus the other. It's not just a sticker. There's a performance difference.
Conspiracy theories abound tonight.
That would be one of those things that if I worked at iRacing, I might randomly enable and disable just to drive a few people nuts. The ones that try to collect all the data. They're like, I swear on Tuesdays, if you run these tires, the car's faster. Everybody's like, no. Actually, probably be the quickest way to get fired working for iRacing, I would imagine.
Yeah, that would be quite the conspiracy, wouldn't it? I mean, the fine margins that people go to win sim races, anything at all that would upset that balance would certainly be noticed very quickly, and it wouldn't even have to be much.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, if you're ever curious how fine these margins really get, you can talk to Christopher Hamilton about his Daytona qualifying fiasco for the Coke College Series. That was interesting. They were looking, you know, for a qualifying time just to make it. He was trying to find, you know, thousandths of a second in a qualifying lap.
Yeah, the College Series, yep.
Going a crash here for James Molyneux. Let's see what's going on there. After down and little Tokyo drift, but
Not
all in
gonna
all,
lose, maybe he will lose position. No, that's not for position there.
no. But looking here, Joshua Betts try to run down Alan Gullison here. That's an interesting paint job on that McLaren.
Yeah, the monster. Yep. Looks like a raptor got a hold of it.
or just a crazy redneck named Kyle. 50-50. Back here, Eric Martin into the pits for unknown reason, other than maybe didn't feel the
Might be a
enough.
drive-through.
Well, only showing 2 off tracks for him, but that is definitely looking like drive-through territory, though. Let's see there. And yes, you were correct, David. That is a drive-through. So SDK definitely off on their off tracks.
That's going to give Molyneux another position. Top 10.
Will. Yeah. Let's see. Molyneux needing another 40 seconds to try to get ahead of Alex Jaspers there. But still, your closest battle here on track is between Alan Gullison and Joshua Betts. But that is fluctuating in and out of that 1 second gap, back and forth. Looks like the next closest one's going to be between Nick Terrell and Nathan Sides there. Last lap. Sides closing the gap down very slowly, a couple hundredths a lap. Nathan Nickerson taking about a half a second out of that 5 second gap, so not quite enough time to make it to the end at that rate. And Schwartz, luckily, you know, with that little spin, kept it off anything, so no damage to his car. But definitely dropped his pace back. Last lap, Mason, I think, also dropping his pace too to a 44s. So with a now 12.7 second lead, Mason probably just focusing on bringing it home in one piece.
Yeah, absolutely. On a track like this, where traffic can bite you, off tracks can bite you, curbs can bite you, and some of those undulating exit acceleration zones are not fun either. So key for him will just be to keep it clean and bring it to the checkered flag.
So this time around, this will be Mason Smith. He is that guy. So 55, 50, so we're there at. The white will definitely be out this time, but this might also be the last lap. Don't think it will be though. But we'll hang around to see if it's
That is the finish.
that is the finish. See Mason Smith taking the checkered flag, flashing the lights. So congratulations there to Mason Smith. Jonathan Schwartz will be coming home second there. But it's a nice big gap for oh, is Schwartz running out of fuel?
He is. Is he going to make it? A little bit of a downhill here. I think he'll be all right.
But
Yep, crosses the line.
Where's the line?
He made it.
I thought the line was up here.
Oh, it was earlier.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna say that that'd have been rough to lose it to a couple guys right there.
Down to a 3-second gap, though. Certainly cutting it close.
Yep. And then who else? We still have out here on track. Oh, it's going to the thing. So we'll. Nathan Nickerson coming around. And Ricky Renner. They'll be taking the flag there. Alright. Let's see. We'll get the final results in here in a second. I'll pull up our group thing here. So we'll have Mason, Schwartz, Terrell, and then Sides. Alright. Let me. As we can see, it looks like John none too happy in the Discord there. I can understand his pain on that one. Alright, where is our broadcast? It's in the waiting room here. Carl and Jimmy already in there. Let's see. Well, I don't see many people in our thing here, so let's type this up. So we need...
All right, John. Well, I can do the points while we wait for maybe this first interview, since it should be quick and we can give folks an update.
Yep. Hold on, trying to ask for guys to hop in the broadcast booth. Just gotta find everyone's names. Yeah. There we go. All right, let's see. Do we have, who can we pull in who is, well, let's see. We'll give it a few seconds. I'll pull up our results here, run down through this. Mason Smith taking home your win here tonight. Jonathan Schwartz in second. Nick Terrell in third. Nathan Sides in fourth. Nathan Nickerson in fifth. Ricky Renner in sixth. Alan Gullison in seventh. Josh Betts in eighth. Alex Jaspers in ninth. James Molyneux rounding out your top 10 there. So, and then we will jump down here. 11th will be Eric Martin. 12th will be John Crane. And 13th will be Derek Booker. So, we have that there. And, oh, okay, we got some people in the waiting room. Let's see. That will be Mr. Betts here in bronze. Joshua, this is John and David in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy.
So, the... Yeah, it looks like you were beating most of the silvers there for a little bit during that race.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think last season I think I did half the race and was not feeling it. And today, it was like the only day I practiced the track and I did good. So it was kind of a little weird for me, but I'll take it.
Yeah, only
So,
7 incidents out there, and that was low for the field even. Lowest incident count we saw was 5 from a couple folks. So clean race as well. So congratulations out there on your race and beating your fellow bronze competitors.
Thanks. I needed it. I've been throwing away a couple of them the last, I think, 2 weeks. I've thrown it away in the last 2 laps. So I kind of needed this.
yeah, that'll help you close up the gap on Jaspers there a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Hopefully.
live update on the points here since I'm here, and we got a quick turnaround. So you'll be 9 points looking ahead at Jaspers from second place in the bronze division.
Nice. Made up some places. That's what I like to hear.
so you looking forward to next week?
What's next week? Is it
It'll be
Dawn
Spa.
or
Spa.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to Spa. I really like Spa, so probably driving the McLaren and see what I
After
can
that
do.
straight line speed?
Yep, need that straight line speed. But I don't know. I may actually stick with the Porsche. I seem to do a lot better in the Porsche than I do in any other car, so probably just stick with the Porsche to be honest with you. But never know what could happen.
We do have a 23% chance of rain as well. It looks like that chance will be mostly before the race. So maybe starting out with a little bit of a damp session and drying throughout the race. But how do you feel about maybe having a little water on the track?
Actually, a lot of people don't like rain races. I actually really like rain races because I start to feel like I'm on par with like some of the faster guys because I can just go my normal pace I normally go, and it's like my fast pace in the rain, so kind of works out.
Yeah, it's a bit of an equalizer. So be interesting to see how the weather affects next week.
Yeah, I can't wait. If it's gonna rain, I'll be even happier to be honest.
All right. Well, any shout outs that you want to give while you're here up in the booth tonight?
Yeah, I want to shout out, the whole next gen team. Ricky's been helped me a lot, trying to motivate me to practice a lot more and get better because I beat myself up. Nate, just the whole crew, everybody. My girlfriend for letting me, take the time every night to come and practice and hang out with the boys. And then lastly, just you guys for having a stream for us to go back and watch and just hosting this amazing series, and appreciate it a bunch.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and hopefully we can catch you next week.
Yep.
All right. That was your bronze winner, Joshua Betts. And now we will go for silver is Alan. Not seeing Alan Gullison in the booth. So we'll move on to Nathan Sides here. Nathan, this is David and John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, doing all right. So you had a little bit of a kerfuffle there with Ricky coming into the first series complex.
Yeah, I just flat out missed my breaking point.
Oh, we thought it was move on. It may have been a little optimistic.
No, I just totally missed my breaking point, and by the time you're, going into that corner so fast, you're like, just try to avoid the person in front of you.
So we saw up there in the front, up in Platinum in the podium spots. Yeah, Schwartz taking the short pit there at the first one. Looks like you were more kind of, obviously you stopped as early as you thought you could to get some of that damage repaired. How bad was that left front after the touching?
Left front wasn't too bad. I actually got rear-ended when I was sitting there waiting for Ricky to go. So that was a little bit worse. But yeah, I actually didn't get. I didn't drop off too much, so I saved my fast repair just in case something really went haywire. So
Oh,
I
it
didn't
showed the
take it till
front.
second gear.
Your left front crunched in pretty bad.
Oh, did it? Okay. It didn't feel bad. It was still drove straight. So, and I was only maybe a couple tenths off my lap times.
Okay. We were wondering if it was maybe fuel burn that
Maybe.
caused you to come in early.
Yeah. No, I thought I was a little bit quicker than Ricky, so I figured I'd short pit that first one to see if I could jump him in the pits, and it worked out.
Well, yeah, Ricky may have spun it, and gifted you a little bit there.
I'll take it.
But again, congratulations. Next week we're going to Spa. There's a little chance of rain. Looking forward to that, or is that on your list of, oh God, don't be wet again?
You know what? The one other league I do, it's a lot of rain, and I've gotten much better in it. So I mean, bring it on, man.
Well, congratulations on the win here in the Gold Series or the Gold Division and 4th overall. Anybody want to give a shout out to on that number 120 machine before we let you go?
Just all my my guys back at my main racing league is OMEC, so they're a bunch of good guys.
All right, congratulations. Hope we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
All right, that was your gold winner, Nathan Sides. And let's pull some podium positions in here now. Nick, this is John and David in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. John and David, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. So I know you have a tendency to go long and try to save a lot of fuel. When you noticed that John had spun or started catching time on him, did you ever manage to try to pull out a hope you might get second, or?
I had a brief inkling that I might get a chance at it when I heard Incident Schwartz a couple different times, and then I saw like the delta had gone from like 20 some seconds down to like in the low teens, and it was like getting into like single digits, and I'm like, okay, too bad it's last lap. I'm not like, if he keeps it straight, I'm not gonna catch him by the time it's at the finish line. But yeah, it's like I know he's obviously, from what I've seen in the chat and talking in the waiting room, he's certainly not a fan of this track.
Yeah, it looks like he may have run out of fuel. They were coming towards the line. We saw you getting close. I didn't realize the line was much earlier than the start line.
Yeah,
so.
I was licking my lips. I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, oh wait, man, I'm like, I just passed the finish line back there, didn't I? Damn it.
Well, no mystery machine paint job here tonight, but taking 3rd overall, not a bad showing, especially when the top two are Mason and John.
I don't drive the Porsche a ton. It's just too much of a meta for this track to not drive. It's just too good at this track. As Mason and some of us were talking in the waiting room, there's only like 2 cars that can actually be at or near full throttle on that one left-hander. Like, what is it, like turn 4, I guess it is. And he says, yeah, Porsche and Acura, and I mean, that checks out too. So I know I'd probably might have been all right with the Acura, but I was trying a little bit of it last night. Then I went into the Porsche, and I knew, like, from driving it here in another league before, that I could like get into the 43s and 44s with it. So I was already like over a second quicker than my best time with the Acura. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel. I'm gonna do like efficient usage of my practice time, and I'll just run the Porsche tomorrow. And here we are, and try to make it interesting the first lap or two. I got a good draft on Mason there. I just didn't want to embarrass myself for crew license points, so I just went a little easy through the turn and gave a little separation to him and John to see like how it might check out, because I needed them to kind of swap points. Really, I needed them to have elbows out and whatnot, because I can't really set my own destiny.
What you're saying is
so
you
much
needed them
without
to
having
wreck
to
out.
Yeah, that was a gentle way of saying. I was trying to be a little gentle, but yeah, I needed them to drive hard and do some of, like, I believe you guys called John's NASCAR driving and whatnot at Le Mans last week, something like that. But yeah, it all worked out. I just try to keep incident counts low as per usual,
Trying to get some of those bonus points.
Yeah. I think each season I've done where I've at least done enough races, I've been the safest driver too. So if I can get podiums and be safest, I really can't complain. If I try to run over the 9/10 threshold, start doing that 9.5 to 9.8 tenths or whatever some of these guys can sustain, I start to overstep that knife's edge, and start to embarrass myself on the broadcast. So I just rather lose a little bit of time each lap and just, make it a little hard for anyone to pass me, but see how it goes through the whole race itself instead of like the hot laps.
Yeah, right there
Hey,
with you, brother.
No, I was about to say David or I have no clue what you're talking about. We've never done that.
Yeah, last season we did this track and I lost it in the Porsche on the last turn. So yeah,
I got a little squirrely one time there. I felt the ass end start to kick out a little when I was trying to track out left, and not like coming out of the last turn, but through the sweeping part, the uphill. We want to be on the rumble strip on the left. I was starting to roll in the throttle, and I felt like I started to look a little bit to the right. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's ease out a tiny bit here and straighten it back out.
yeah,
I'm about to overdrive a little, and the last stop, I only took the left side tires too, so I took the first stop, lefts on the second stop, and I just had to kind of let them come into their optimal temperature and just try to stay ahead of Nate Sides. And I was watching my timing with Ricky at one point, and then yeah, I went through incidents. I saw he had a pretty major collision, so that was why he was
Lost
far
his
back.
hood.
But at one point, I thought he was saving a bunch of fuel. I thought he was trying to pull some Ricky magic out and save a bunch of fuel because I was looking lap after lap because I can see like the last 8 laps on my Delta bar on my race lab, and I was like, man, is he trying to save fuel? Like, is he trying to save like 3 laps or so worth of fuel? Like, what the hell's going on? And thankfully that wasn't the case. But he had me worried there for a moment. But because I know he's saved some crazy fuel before and running good pace.
yeah.
Well,
Ricky's a good competitor, absolutely, and looks like you gained some points on him tonight. About 11 points
Woo!
for third place in the platinum division and overall. So good finish for you and some good points.
Yeah, good to hear it. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to checking it out and checking out the broadcast too and all that good stuff. I always enjoy watching these kind of on my Friday. I'll turn them on, and that's when you guys will see kind of a phantom later thumbs up on Fridays. That's whenever I'm watching from home here, and always give a thumbs up later on and try to get exposure for you guys and things like that. So it
Yeah,
was a light crowd tonight, but hey, easy points for those that finished. It was pretty much impossible to not finish in the top 10. Only 3
yeah,
people out, so I mean that's the way to look at it.
that's right. Well, thank you for the shout out. And is there any other shout outs you want to give tonight?
Yeah, Nate Sides. I mean, he's we race for another league. That's how I know John Schwartz too. We all race in another league on Tuesdays as well. So it's how we've all migrated over here to have something to do on Thursdays, and it makes it a little more interesting. We don't really strategize or game plan or anything, but Nate and I will sometimes be in a voice chat BSing about either racing or life stuff, depending on how the race is going. You guys for the broadcast, my wife for enjoying or not really enjoying, but allowing me to enjoy my hobby that I put probably more time in. But as a reminder, it's way cheaper and safer than if I were to be hooning out in a real race car the way I would like to be. So keeps me at least around in that regard. But yeah, thanks as always for putting this on. You guys are great.
Oh, we appreciate it, and thank you. And smart man, giving shout out to the wife. So we'll wish you best of luck for next week at Spa, and hopefully we'll see you up here again.
Yep, yeah, appreciate it. I never know when she might be in earshot down the stairs in the kitchen or around the pantry area or something. 'Cause my office is up above the garage, so I should maybe said it louder. Shout out to my wife. But yeah, yeah. Thanks again, y'all. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Congratulations. That was a third place, Nick Terrell. Let's pull our second place, Mr. John Schwartz. And David, you want to take this one away?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, John, this is John Obinger and David Tilford in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
All right. Well, it was a challenging race. We thought we might see you and Mason nose to tail for another 60 minutes or so after last night. It looked like you tried to pull a bit of a different strategy at that first pit stop. You want to talk through what you had in mind there?
Really nothing in mind. I knew from the start of this race, from the start of practice, from the start of when this track was added to the schedule that the race is gonna be horrendous, and nothing bad about anyone. I mean, kudos to Mason for being able to find pace and consistency. But yeah, I mean, I bought the track just for this schedule, and I've raced it on other sims before. I've raced it on Project Cars, and I think Assetto Corsa, if they even have it, I've gotten a mod for it before, and F1 occasionally if they've ever had it on a game. But it's just I hate it in every single way, from the blind corners to the tightening corner tracks. I appreciate the creativity for it, but it's just absolutely horrendous to race on. Any passing opportunities are the front straight, which you have to absolutely have like the most scrub following this long right-hander. If it has downforce, it's okay, but this car doesn't have enough downforce to go flat, so you're just understeering constantly through there. And then the off-camber uphill left-hander to try to get in the long back straight is a horrible way to get a run. So just I'm amazed Mason didn't get by me earlier. Never really thought I had a chance. I was just happy to qualify within half a second of him. Um, ended up spinning out twice. I was expecting to spin out more. So the only reason the fuel strategy was a thing was, I mean, I was holding him up a lot, and I thought if I did a full tank again, sure I might be able to hold him up or something. But I was thinking maybe I can try to build a gap a bit with the shorter fuel, and somehow he managed to gain 2 seconds on me even with more fuel. So kudos to him. I I don't really know where this result managed my expectations. I just knew everything was gonna go wrong, and it pretty much did. I'm just I guess happy that when I did get some clean laps in, that they had enough pace to build me the buffer they did to third. So yeah, struggled the whole race. I'll take some. I don't know how the heck I even let some laps out. I think gotta give congrats to Nick for making it interesting at the start, for sending it in. But yeah, never really felt like I had a shot. So yeah, I'm on to the next week, please.
Yeah, on the next week, and a chance at Spa you are within 5 points of Mason for the championship lead, and that is close enough to make one race be the difference between a swap in position. So I think this is going to come down to the very last race between you and Mason, and so I think we're all looking forward to that. But yeah, tonight, some tracks just aren't anyone's favorite, and I kind of agree with you when it comes to GT racing. I think this track is better for the downforce cars. But nevertheless, we move on, and congratulations, you did manage to make a large gap to third and bring that car across the line, just squeaking it out at the end. So good job for you doing that. So any shout outs that you want to give to anyone that might be watching out there?
Well, shout out to Rexy and the car. I'm hoping that they can get a real dinosaur and just jump on this track, hopefully create some potholes and craters. That way they have to destroy it and rebuild a new one. That'd be great. In terms of upcoming weeks, I think we'll hopefully have some more entertaining races at the front. I don't know if I have the pace again at the upcoming tracks, but at least I feel like I have a little more practice with them. So yeah, we'll see how those go. And even if those races don't go well, it'll be a surprise rather than just confirming what I expected. So yeah, I'm a little more optimistic about upcoming races. So I'm looking forward to them.
All right, well, that's good to hear. We will let you get along with your night, and appreciate you coming out, and congrats again. So we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for the broadcast.
All right, that was second place, John Schwartz. So we will pull our winner, Mason Smith, in here. Mason, this is John and David in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
So I guess first off, congratulations for doing a pretty much perfect race. Didn't seem to be much drama there from your perspective. What were you thinking when John made that first stop and got away so much quicker than you?
Well, I was thinking like he was gonna try something different, like, like I don't know, but I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he was trying to take less fuel and take, um, and take no tires there at that stop, so you can try and at least gain an advantage, but then yeah, I guess it didn't work out since I guess I heard from him he like ran out the fuel at the last few laps. So, so that worked out in my favor, and I kind of took extra fuel, which I shouldn't need to, but I got it through the end, and in the end, perfect race.
Yeah,
So-
so this puts you 5 seconds or 5 seconds, 5 points in the lead of the series, and we know that the leader can't get bonus points for qualifying, so that keeps things close. But it's probably gonna come down to that final race at Sebring with the 2 hours and double points. Um, do you have anything, up your sleeve as far as practice times, cars coming up on these upcoming tracks to try to make a gap, or you think it's going to come down to that final race?
I know we'll come down to the final race, so I just gotta stay on my toes here. I know the last 3 tracks I should say are definitely up there to be my favorites. So this is good in my favor, but also I know that they're really well known. So yeah, I just gotta stay on my toes and do whatever I can to come out on top.
Well, we know that dinner waits for no one, so we won't hold you here too long. But definitely want to give you a chance to give any shout-outs that you might have. And yeah, I think we're all looking forward to what's coming next for these last 3 races.
Well, shout out to the family as always. Shout out to you in the broadcast, and as always too, and shout out to the racers out there.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, Mason, and hopefully we'll catch you next week at Spa. And I know for me in the broadcast booth, I'm praying it rains. So.
well, we'll see. We'll see next week.
All right. Well, congratulations, and hopefully get you again.
Thank you.
All right. That was our winner, Mason Smith. So, after watching this whole race, David, I'm starting to think maybe the the LMP2s. Yeah, but you were in that race last night. Was it a better race than this one, or just?
I mean, John was right. I mean, the downforce helps with the raceability of these cars at this track with the way it works with the tightening corners, the blind corners, and all of the ups and downs. The downforce certainly helps, but it's no less of a challenge. I mean, that car was on a razor's edge. Maybe you just feel like you can push a little bit harder with the extra downforce of the LMP2, but I know other people like Chris Hamilton were just kind of straight not having a great time on that track. So maybe a great track for Formula racing.
I think it's a bike track at the end of the day.
Yeah, that too. Not really surprising, being one of those Eastern European tracks. A lot of those, cater to the MotoGP crowd, but still an enjoyable race to watch and see these guys compete. Was hoping to have a few more guys out here, but points opportunity for those that were able to make it tonight, and hope to have probably a much bigger crowd next week at Spa at a track that I'm sure everyone is very familiar with.
Yeah, definitely. I got a message from William Burrell. He had to have knee surgery. That's what kept him out for tonight. So he'll be MIA for a little while. Not quite sure when he'll be able to join us again. So, of course, everybody has a lot, real lives that sometimes interfere with our sim racing. But we wish him a quick recovery as well. And from everybody here at CRN and Core, we appreciate it. And we'll catch you next week.
The engines roar, the grid's alive. Under the lights, we start to drive. McLaren sleep cutting through the air. Porsche chasing close with a power so rare. Audi's growl, a beast unleashed. Lamborghini's roar, the grip of the beast. Ford's Mustang, muscle and might. Ferrari's prancing horse, ready to fight. BMW flies with precision and grace. Every corner, every chase. Core League legends racing for fame. GT3 fever, feel the flame. Race through the night, the engines sing. Car GT3, feel the lightning. McLaren, Porsche, Audi, fine. Lamborghini screaming by your side. Ferrari, Ford, BMW, chasing victory, breaking through. Core G3, feel the speed. Racing fever is all we need. Every apex tight, every lap on fire. The battle rages hearts, full of desire. Through Eau Rouge and on the straight, GT3 glory can't be late. McLaren shadow, Porsche scream. Audi fights back in a high-speed dream. Lamborghini powers down the line. Ford's thunder echoes divine. Ferrari surges with the lion's roar. BMW dances, wanting more. Corley thrill, never the same. GT3 fever, tried insane. Race through the night, the engines sing. Car GT3, feel the lightning. McLaren, Porsche,